Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Elon Musk vowing to finally get rid of the bots and the troll accounts on Twitter/X. Now, that was one of the things he vowed to do when he first bought the platform, and actually he told them to do before he bought the platform because he said he way overpaid for it.
Yeah. We said he was way overpaying before he said he was overpaying.
Yeah.
Because most of Twitter was fake.
Then he tried to get out of it, and then he got stuck with it, and here we are. But we're gonna talk about this, see if it makes it a better app overall. And I have to admit, I am coming around to liking X now. I didn't at first. I'm like, it's the same shitty app, but they have been adding a lot more features to it. And it is becoming more of, well, pretty much what he said he wanted to do with it and turn it into kind of an everything publishing app to compete with, like, you know, Facebook and also Facebook and maybe Google, but mostly Facebook. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
This I thought was hilarious. I saw it yesterday. This is very accurate. It's coming from Josh Eagle. Libs of TikTok posts some gay guy. Elon Musk says, wow. And Nicole says, my pussy in bio.
I keep getting these stupid pussy and bio things on every post I make.
Is there something you want to tell me?
No, but I mean, unless it's a picture of your cat, I really don't want to see it. I really, truly don't. It's not, I mean, you're just going to get reported.
I don't want to see your cat's pussy either.
I just want to see if it's your picture of your pussy named Milo, who's a cute little feline, I'm all about it. But if it's that, forget it. I'm not interested.
So now, hashtag Milo's pussy is gonna take it to some.
We should like make it the new thing. Everybody should just be putting, someone should make an account called My Pussy in Bio, and it's just pictures of the cats.
It probably is.
That's what I would do to combat the negativity. Anyway,
it's she's a blue check there, Nicole, with
supposedly,
with her multiple numbers after her name.
Well, now apparently, if you have so many followers, you can get blue checks. So
yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about they're apparently giving everybody blue checks now if you're popular. But Musk said, he said he's gonna do a system purge of bots and trolls. It's underway. Reply to me or X Engine if legitimate accounts are suspended. X Corp will be tracing the people responsible and bringing the full force of the law to bear upon them.
What gets me is, and I keep saying this, Twitter has a bot problem for years. It was not new. Before Musk bought it, it was a running joke that most of Twitter was fake. For years. We talked about it many times before Elon Musk even bought it, about how Twitter was a joke. It's just being used to prop up this or that. Companies were using it. Companies were using it to they have they buy a lot of accounts up, and then they could be bought by like studios and stuff to promote stuff. I told you about the times we kept running into these different accounts back when I would track stuff for Disney years ago. It's not new. The bots are not new. Studios using the bots are not new. Companies using bots, completely not new.
No. Now they're saying on this website here, as a Bitcoin website, they're saying that he's doing it to get rid of like the crypto scams. I've seen a lot of those pop up too. It's either
well, I think the pussy and bio.
It's either pussy and bio or crypto and bio, Bitcoin and bio. But yeah, they have been. In fact, I think we talked about it before. We'll talk about it again. There are certain celebrity accounts that they actually would hire firms to corn feed their accounts. And there were people working in the comic book industry that we know for 100% certain would have one of these corn fed accounts. And usually what would happen is they would create an account for them. Then the handlers, the PR firm, would take over and they would grow it, usually with a bunch of bots, or they would manipulate the algorithm or something.
Well, I'm thinking too about back when we tracked the Disney blogs and stuff. People would buy fake accounts. All right, would buy followers and things like that.
And
they had a big purge back in, what was that, like 2017?
Yeah, and everybody's like, I don't understand why I've only got half as many followers.
Yeah, and then suddenly half the followers would be gone because they purged a bunch of bot accounts out of it. It's been going on for years, contrary to what some people are saying.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's been going on for years. And they're like, oh, well, the blue checks are just the newest flavor. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think he's going to get rid of that. I think because he's making money. Well, he was making money on the blue checks. I don't know what's going on with that now, but it was making him money. So of course, if he, why would he get rid of that when it was making him money?
Yeah.
But now they're saying that they're just going to give them to people who have followers.
Yeah. So this part I did not hear. This is the register. Thank the bots. Your blue check is back on X. If you're popular enough at Elon's party, that is. So the X overlord decreed on March 27th in a somewhat confusingly worded post that all X accounts with over 2,500 verified subscriber followers will get premium features for free, and accounts with over 5,000 will get premium plus for free. It doesn't mean the numbers are only pulled from followers that actually subscribe. It tallies them from followers that are paying X premium members. We understand. Yeah. In other words, if you're popular and have noticed your blue check has returned, you can thank the bots that Musk once railed against and have become a hallmark of Twitter 2.0.
Well, the bot thing, we joked when he put the offer in, we're like, he's overpaying because most of his accounts are fake.
Yeah.
We joked about that then. You can go back.
Yes.
Go back and look. You searched in the past, right? Okay, they're talking about the clarity on number. You can't move forward to his clarity on fake numbers because he put an offer in and we laughed about it because, like, dude, a bunch of it's fake. You search back in the past, right? Article after article after article about how it's not real. How they're bots. 48 million Twitter accounts could be bots, study says.
2017.
Twitter has a huge fake follower program.
2022, 2018.
Twitter's sweeping out fake accounts. 28 million Twitter accounts are actually bots or autonomous bots. It goes on and on and on. We've been telling you this. It's not new.
I think it was the number of accounts, because he was told that it was like less than, I forget what it was, like less than 10% or less than 5%.
It's probably half.
It wound up being like half of Twitter.
It's half of Twitter at least.
So if he gets rid of the bots, I'm like, man, this place is going to be a ghost town, because I know people have multiple sock puppets. I know people have bot accounts. I know people have, and this has been going on forever. And a lot of times how you can tell is like, oh, look, it's a mostly new account with a very generic picture and a bunch of numbers after the name. What they need to do is be like, okay, your account has been associated with bot activity, or your email address or IP address or whatever has been associated with bot activity.
But there's so many ways around that.
Well, I would say you have to actually give us some identification that you're a real person before we can authorize
if you're paying for it, we're supposed to check, but as long as they're getting paid, they probably didn't care,
Yeah.
Yes, fake news coming from super shares on Twitter, and that's kind of what I was talking about, where you had these accounts that these firms would have that would be they were there just to post, retweet, comment, or just share like some narrative that was being spread, or that to boost this account has more followers than it did. They had different ones for different purposes. It's not new.
I love that TechCrunch basically makes it out like this was the right wingers trying to rig Twitter, when actually after Elon bought it, it turned out it was the opposite.
We all knew that.
It was the opposite. It was like the right was silenced for the most part. And it was a lot of the same accounts, like retweeting left-wing talking points.
I just remember it was about, sharing art and cat videos.
Yeah, we've actually
been great. Those are the glory days.
We've actually been on Twitter since like 2008, 2009. That's kind of when it first started. And I think it was 2000. I want to say 2007, but we were on it within like a year or two of it starting. And we were on it because of webcomics. We were into webcomics. And back then it was totally different.
Some of the people hating on us or saying we're wrong, we're probably even on Twitter then.
I know, right?
I'm like, they probably weren't even old enough.
But some of the people that refuse to acknowledge us or dogpile us now were actually in our mutuals, our circles back in the day, which is so weird. But yeah, back then, like the comic scene and the nerd scene on Twitter was very different. Actually, Twitter was mostly for creatives and tech people. And, once the journalists started trickling in, once they started using Twitter as like a news app, a news dissemination app, then it really got pretty toxic, because that was about controlling the narrative, because the stakes were higher. It wasn't just funny cat videos. It wasn't just, hey, I got new.
No, and that's when you started seeing all these bots coming in, these firms, like, you can pay us to control the narrative.
Yep. And that's what happened. That became like, okay, well, this is like all the other social media platforms where it was like, you have to have no pun intended, but you have to have X number of followers on all these social platforms to get the attention of, a studio or get the attention of an agent.
Firsthand, because it happened with us firsthand. So that
we were actually told. I remember we were told at one point, well, if you want a book deal or you want this or you want that, you got to have like a major following on platform. And we're starting to see now like it's all falling apart. Like if you go out to a lot of these nerd sites, like, the Mary Sue and Nerdist and, a lot of these ones that supposedly have these like massive, hundreds of thousands. Rolling Stone,
because they're not real.
It's not real.
It's not new.
Nobody is liking their stuff. Nobody's sharing their stuff.
It's not real.
Because it never was real. Because you could buy tens of thousands at a time.
Like you brought to the point you made earlier, I'm not going to name names about the person, but they had hardly any followers on Twitter. They get a PR person and they get a book deal, and all of a sudden their Twitter page goes down, comes up with a new name, and they suddenly start out with like, how much do they have? A whole bunch. Of Twitter followers, all of a sudden, boom,
I can tell you. I'm not going to tell you who's who because I don't want to go being that guy. But yeah, this was a pretty well-known person.
May or may not have ruined some things that people
in comics and animation, and we may or may not have shared an agency at one point. But yeah, this person basically came out of nowhere from Tumblr and had a book deal almost immediately, and their original Twitter account, the original account they had, only had about 2,000 followers.
And we know because we were one of the ones that followed them.
Yeah, because because it was from, we're in the same scene, but they only had about 2,000 followers. And that was very weird because we're like looking at the, all the press releases from like Publishers Weekly and stuff. And we're like, well, so-and-so got a book deal. I'm like, how? Nobody really, and then you went, it's like, wait a minute.
Account's a completely different name.
This is a completely different, so this account has like 75,000 followers. What the hell happened? And then they pretty much tried to bury the old account in exchange for and then they promoted the new one, being like, well, look at how many followers they have on Twitter. And here,
that actually happened. We were there.
Yes, we saw it happen in real time. It was like, wait a damn minute. We've been following this person for a year. But at the other handle, which they were still kind of updating, but once they made the book announcement, they didn't update that one anymore. And then they started updating this new one. And all of a sudden, it was like, whoa, it's just like overnight. Just this person appeared overnight and had 75,000 Twitter followers. Oh my God, it's the biggest thing ever, And so we saw it.
It's always been scammy.
It's always been
scammy for years. It's nothing new. It's not surprising.
I remember the audit wars. I remember people were going through and like auditing each other because they had apps you could audit your followers and see if they were,
did they?
If they were real or bots. And people were like, you're 50% fake. Faker, and like tweeting out all over the place.
No, it's all new. It's like, no, it's not.
No, it's not new.
It was like this before he bought it. It's just, he's got to have some financial reason for doing it now because he didn't give two shits about it before.
Well, okay. So this is why I think it's all kind of interrelated. And we talked about how they seem to be pivoting X to being more of a news app, like not just linking to news, but actually, publishing content on the website. And that's what he said he wanted to do at the beginning. And now they're claiming that X is the top news app in the US now over the New York Times and Wall Street Journal, which it might be. Who the hell knows? But I think what's going on is like, you cannot attract advertisers. You cannot attract talent if half your website is fake.
No.
People aren't going to come in.
If you tell people to fuck off, but
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you're not going to get people coming to the site.
It's gloriously funny though.
And publishing here, and what I'm saying, if every other comment is pussy in bio.
Yeah, it's a real problem. Which, you kind of have to wonder, are people like ex detractors deliberately like sending these in? And
I wondered because
like try to get people to leave the platform because they're tired of it.
I have wondered because a lot of people have said, at first we saw like, okay, everybody's just going to leave X. They're not going to stay here.
They didn't.
Even the people,
junkies.
Even the people that
Kneon.
Yeah, I am. No, I said I was going to leave because I thought it was trash and a lot of things were broken when he came in. He broke the API and everything. But I didn't realize the extent of the changes he was going to make. It just took a while to get there. It's kind of like X is like the No Man's Sky publishing apps where it's like there are all these promises at the beginning and you get it. And it's like, man, this is really damn disappointing. But then you look at it now after many updates and years of tinkering, and it's like, oh yeah, it's actually a damn good game. You know, that's what X was. X was like, you got this thing, it was broken, and they had to clean house, and it works now, but now they have to attract, they got to make money. They got to start attracting people to the platform. But yeah, I think you're right, because I didn't see the pussy and bio links start popping up until the apps start getting more popular. And
it's an election year.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden,
a lot of politicians love pussy and bio.
A lot of politicians, yeah.
They love dick and bio. Some of them like dick and pussy and bio.
If they're underage, it's even better. So
yeah, I'm just saying, but yeah, I think that's what this is about. It's about advertising. It's about credibility, because I guarantee you they're going to be out there on like CNN, if they haven't done so already, be like, yeah, this is basically what X is. Don't go to X because they got Tucker Carlson and pussy and bio. Don't go there.
Tucker Carlson and pussy, and they're going to be right there. Not that they're like, that's their comma between the two, but you know what I'm saying. Comma. Tucker Carlson, comma, pussy. They're going to come. So many jokes. Okay.
What?
Stop.
They might even subscribe.
In further trouble.
They might subscribe for that. Hey, we don't have Tucker Carlson or pussy and bio, but you can go out to Clownfish TV on X, and we've actually been doing some live streams out there, experimenting with it. And yeah.
So hear me out. I think I should do an hour a week, at least once, maybe twice, of all the things that are driving me nuts and ticking me off that week, and that I want to call out the bullshit about and set the record straight on. But I can be better because I don't have to be as restrained.
There you go.
I think I might do that. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll call that one Maniac. Yeah, so did some game streams as a test. We did a podcast episode as a test. And yeah, I mean, we're going to see where it goes. But yeah, I think almost all of these have pussy and bio somewhere in the comments. So we're going to wrap this up. Mm-hmm. I think we should wrap this up. What do you think? Do you want to do a rant cast? You can do a rant cast.
Maybe. We'll see. What do you think?
You should just call it.
Comment, let us know.
You should just call it pussy and bio.
You should. Damn, but then I'll probably be told I'm a bot.
Yeah. I would hate to see.
And randomly, I start screaming, then pictures of cat. And the whole thing is me ranting about stuff, but then pictures of cats keep appearing the whole way through the show.
Oh my god, that would.
Your job would be to sit there and randomly put pictures of cats.
Oh, it's better than feet pics. I don't want to be doing that.
You wouldn't let me do that either.
No, you are not doing that.
I want to transform Transformers with my feet.
No,
I would make so much money.
No. Gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up.
Yes.
All right. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.